Did you know that your mood is connected to the hormones that your body is producing every day? If you could understand what choices to make on a daily and consistent basis that help improve your mood, motivation, energy level, focus, and overall mental health, then continue watching as I break down what sorts of behaviors affect specific hormones that impact us both positively and negatively. We have in our brains the production of hormones that put us in a good mood. These are also known as the happy hormones, which function as neurotransmitters as well. These happy hormones are as follows: dopamine, the pleasure, feeling accomplished, motivation, and focused hormone; serotonin, the hormone regulating our mood; endorphins, a hormone released when we exercise. It also brings us excitement and is a natural painkiller. And then you have oxytocin, our love hormone. These hormones get released in our body as a result of the choices we make in our everyday life. And if these choices are healthy ones, then we will find an uptick with our happy hormones. And, you guessed it, or at least I'm imagining you guessing it, if our choices are unhealthy, this leads to the decreasing or limiting of the production or using up the stores of these same hormones. Before we break down what choices we make that work against us having a good mood, I challenge you to be self-reflective and more aware of how you feel after some of your choices. Taking a note, for example, that you feel down, depressed even, after wasting time scrolling on your phone. This will help you, hopefully in the future, to not choose that activity again as often or for long periods of time. Just being mindful of how we feel after our choices will help us know what is good to continue to keep doing and what is needed for us to stop. Since I've already brought up the habit of scrolling on our phones, I will focus our attention then specifically on how dopamine, the pleasure, feeling accomplished, motivation, and focused hormone works, thus giving us an understanding of how our choices can in fact work against our happy hormones. So why does scrolling on your phone or being on your phone often altogether work against the regulation of dopamine? The social media apps we have on our phones are created to become addictive on purpose. The auditory and visual stimuli rapidly coming across our screens is like putting our minds on sugar-loaded candy. It's an overload for the brain. This causes the brain to want more, but life doesn't come at us so rapidly, and we can easily grow bored and unamused with the simple yet healthier activities. Attention span shortens, relationships suffer, time and energy is wasted, and so on. You get the picture. This overstimulation decreases our dopamine stores quickly, and we find ourselves still scrolling to get that dopamine rise again, but to no avail, because we used up all our dopamine in one go. And we feel down when we finally put our phones down, not to mention the feelings of guilt coming in because we wasted our time. The lesson here is we need to treat these apps like we do sugary treats. Consume sparingly, if not at all. Other activities that decrease our dopamine stores, aka high dopamine activities that disrupt the regulation of our dopamine, are eating a lot of sugar, drug and alcohol abuse, gaming, posting on the internet for validation, watching a whole bunch of shorts and reels, phone notifications, other addictions I can't share here, and prescription drug addictions like amphetamines. The key here is to learn to regulate your dopamine production within the brain by choosing activities that are considered low dopamine activities, or other activities that produce dopamine more naturally, and not overstimulating our brains constantly. There's a huge support of what is called a dopamine menu, where individuals are creating their own menu of activities that are more healthier for their dopamine regulation, rather than doing those unhealthy activities that drain their dopamine stores so quickly. This is something I did for myself, and I find it helpful to keep me mindful of those activities that are more rewarding in the long run, rather than the immediate quick pleasure activities. Some of these activities are reading a good book, going for a walk, playing instrumental music, sitting on my deck, journaling, planning a fun date with my husband, making time with friends, and some self-care time as well. Now, here are the activities that you can do later and jot down that actually help to increase all of the happy hormones our mental health needs, including serotonin, endorphins, oxytocin, and dopamine. Getting good sleep, healthy eating, in particular protein consumption, getting sunlight, having social interaction, practicing mindfulness, learning, creating something, time for play, laughing with others, helping others, hugging someone you love, or holding hands with them, time spent with your pets, getting a massage, listening to music, exercising, doing hard things, being ambitious or passionate about something, having a to-do list you check off, having long-term goals you are working towards, watching a play or a movie, allowing yourself to be bored once in a while, going outside in nature, limiting your stress, learning to relax, cold showers even, and of course, take time to fast from your phone. Now, here are the activities that are in contrast to the activities I just shared with you that impact our happy hormones in a negative way. Excessive screen time, sleep deprivation, chronic stress, nutritional deficiencies, isolation, and not being active. Okay. Our choices matter in life. Both the big choices, who you will marry, what school to apply for, which career path to take, the decision to follow after God, and the smaller day-to-day choices, pushing the snooze button or not, eating healthy for the day, deciding whether or not to do that workout, or hanging with that friend that needs encouragement. A lot of us put weight on those big decisions, and we are wise to do so. But it's in those small daily choices that over time and with consistency impacts our mental health and how we feel overall. Choosing to not neglect the value in our small day-to-day choices reveals our awareness of how those choices do dictate a lot of our experience in this life. So focus on those smaller choices, choosing healthier activities and decisions, and experience your mood respond in a positive way. Done.